In the last episode, you learned how you can use a Node Core module and also how you can create and use your own local modules. But there is a whole world out there of open source modules that other people have created waiting for you to use and abuse. When you require a module and you don't use a relative or absolute path, Nodes first searches for that string in the list of core modules, like in this example with the HTTP module. But Node also looks inside a special local directory named Node modules if it exists. So let's make an experiment. So let's create this file inside this folder we just created. Let's save it at index.js, and this module simply exports a string. And here in our test, test file, let's require that module. Test.js, yeah. So let's execute this. Okay, what happened here? Looks like Node picked up our module from the Node modules folder. So let's rename that folder. And let's run the test again. So we couldn't find that module. So let's rename it back. This is fine and dandy, but what if my module depended on another module? Say that my module depends on a module named my other module. Now what? So let's change this my module file to introduce this dependency. So let's try and test and run the script again. So it couldn't find the module, my other module, as expected. So let's try and meet that dependency by creating the file inside the node modules folder. So let's create my other module and just create index.js here. And this simply exports a string other module, which our other module just logs. So let's test this. So it worked, nice. Except that my other module is not a direct dependency of our test script. It's a dependency of my module. So let's do this right. So what I did here was create the node modules inside my module folder and place my other module inside that, since the my other module is a dependency of my module, not a direct dependency of my test script. So let's test this. Yay! In turn, if my other module depended on another module, it would have their node modules folder inside it, and so on. So that's a pattern that you can use in Node.js. NPM, which stands for Node Package Manager, is the way to search, download, install, and manage third-party modules. NPM is a searchable repository that you can get access to using the web interface from npmjs.org website. Alternative, you can also use the command line npm command that comes bundled with Node to search, for instance, for CouchDB related modules using npm search CouchDB. So there's quite a lot of them. So let's try installing a module from npm. There is a module named request, which we can install using the npm command npm install request. And it will download the latest version of request and install it. And as you can see, npm installed the request module inside the node modules folder. So here it is. Let's try and require him from our test script. Yeah, they didn't complain, so it worked. We can even do console log request. Here it is. The command npm install downloads and installs modules inside the local node modules folder, but there is a global mode in npm that you can activate with the -g flag. Some modules are meant to be installed globally, like the Mocha module. So let's do that. npm install g Mocha. So you can see here, this one of these last bits says that there was a symlink done to the global bin Mocha executable. This is because Mocha defines an executable file, then which, if your system is set up right, comes available in your path. So you can use Mocha, and it's available. Also, the modules that are globally installed available when you do a require are available when you do a require inside any module, but the local modules take precedence. So, as a rule of thumb, avoid installing a module globally. When you create a module or an application, you can specify and fix the dependencies by having them in a manifest file named package.json. So let's create one. So you have to specify a name and a version. This is our demo module or application, and then you create a dependencies attribute here. So we're going to depend on request, any version, and on async, any version. So we created here the package JSON on the root of our project. So you can use npm update to update the dependencies. Let's do that. npm update. So npm update reads the package.json and updates the dependencies according to the specified version. So let's now inspect the local dependency tree using npm ls. So in our package.json manifest, we said we wanted any version of the request and async libraries, but we can pin down to a specific version, 12.0 for instance, or 12.x if you want any patch version of the 2.12 request version. Async, also the same, 0.1.x or 0.1.1, or you can even put an x here, say any minor version. But here you're saying that any patch version of the 2.12 is okay, but I just want the 2.12 version. Then you can use npm update again to make sure that your dependencies are up to date. This makes some HTTP calls to the npm registry. So let's change the request and downgrade it to version 2.11 for instance, and run npm update. So you can see it's fetching request version 2.11.4, and if you do an npm ls, you see that you have request version 2.11.4. In this episode, we analyzed how Node uses the Node modules folder to search for packages. We use npm to manage local and global packages, and we learn how we can use package.json manifest file to pin down our dependencies and have npm resolve them for us.